First off, I'm assuming this is a yes, but do you still like racing?
Yes.
Even if you're coming into the professional world, I always wonder when you start to get to a certain level and then I imagine there's politics in racing. I imagine there's like favoritism. I imagine there might be prejudice, there might be sexism. There might be all these different factors that would detract from the original purpose of just like wanting to race. Do you still, with all that aside, do you still enjoy the process, the entire process, or are there like parts of it that are really just a drain?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with every sport, there's a lot of pressures, right? And there definitely have been some times where I'm just like, oh my God, like, this is a bit much. Like, what if I just give up? But obviously kept pushing and just like, it's a lot of self-doubt, right? And there is a lot of like prejudice, like you said, but thankfully I've stuck to it. And it's all about finding or like remembering why you started. Like every time I kind of feel that way, I think about like the little version of me and like why she started getting into it and like all the successes we've had over the past like few years. And I mean, this month particularly was pretty rough for us. Like we had a lot of bad luck, like 3 race weekends, 4 races, and I only finished 1 because like there were just mechanical issues. I got taken out in my second race in Italy, and there's just these times where like it feels like everything's working against you, but I mean that's just part of racing. It's like there's these super high highs and these low lows, and you just really have to learn to be resilient or find that resilience and find that confidence in yourself to just pick yourself back up and keep going.
Do you feel like as a professional athlete, there's an extra layer of spotlight on you to be somebody who's a positive role model or somebody that inspires future generations to take up the mantle and then also become race car drivers?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like specifically even like as a woman in motorsport, there's so few of us. Like I was just telling somebody in Italy, there was like, we were at our drivers meeting, there were 160 drivers and only 5 of us were women. So it's like a very big majority male dominated sport. And so like with that, there are these pressures to feel like you always have to perform because it's like you have so many people like looking up to you or like seeing you as a role model. And there is that pressure to like almost be perfect all the time. But you got to remember you're only human, we all make mistakes, and, just being in the sport and like competing in it, I think like it just moves the needle for the rest of us or other women in motorsport for sure.
Yeah. Do you feel like the pressure is both crushing or more inspiring? Because thinking about all the people that you can inspire to also push their way into something that otherwise they'd be kicked out of or looked as just ostracized.
For sure. I mean, like, that's what drives me is like being able to inspire and empower other girls, for example. Like, I've had people come up to me and say things like, oh my God, I didn't know like women could be race car drivers, right? And so, or like somebody saying something like, oh, you're the reason why I got into motorsport. Like that was always like so heartwarming for me. But yeah.
What? Why you both look at me like
just,
that? I was listening.
Ask a few
I was
questions.
admiring. It was beautiful.
No, it's fine.
I'm inspired, guys.